Come on, guys. How's the energy in the room today? I understand it's 4 grueling days of Microsoft Ignite, and we're almost at the end of it. But I really appreciate you guys showing up here today. My name is Prasad. My team is on point for several products in the System Center suite. In this session, we'll talk about Virtual Machine Manager 2019 and Data Protection Manager 2019. So in terms of content, we'll go over, we released 2019 earlier this calendar year in March, to be precise. And since then, we have been heads down working on the update to 2019, which we plan to ship in the first quarter of next calendar year. So I'll do a recap of some of the features in VMM 2019 and DPM 2019, and also give you a peek into what we have been working and which will be in your hands come first quarter of next calendar year. I'm also super excited to have two speakers from amongst you. We have Christoph from BWin, who flew all the way from Austria. And we have Brian from Nestle. Both of them run extensive VMM and DPM deployments in their large organizations. So we'll have insights from them as well as part of this session. I have a lot of content to go through, so let's get started. Covering both VMM and DPM in 45 minutes is the challenge. Let's see how we do it. Now, System Center Suite, as you have known for all these years, provides the complete set of data center management tools. And with System Center 2019 release, we have provided all these tools again to you in a long-term servicing channel release, supporting Windows Server 2019. Now, let me talk a bit about long-term servicing channel. It's a release which will be supported by Microsoft for 10 years, which means the support goes all the way till 2029. We know that you have been using the System Center products to run your business, and it's critical for you to get the support from Microsoft. And with System Center 2019 release, you can be rest assured that you can continue to depend on these technologies for the foreseeable future. Before we go further, let me have a quick show of hands. How many in the room here use Virtual Machine Manager? OK, pretty good. And how many use Data Protection Manager? OK, cool. Thank you. Now, in addition to these major releases, like System Center 2016 and System Center 2019, we release what we call as update rollups. Now, we have settled on a cadence of 6 months frequency. So we release an update rollup. If you look at the last line on the screen, we have been shipping update rollups every 6 months for System Center 2016. Now, these update rollups they address issues, functional issues, which you have been reporting to Microsoft support. And if they require a change in the product, if it results in a product bug, we fix that and ship that as part of update rollup. Now, for System Center 2019, we'll ship the first update rollup in the first quarter of next calendar year, as I said. Now, in this release, the first quarter, we are really excited. We've been working for last several months since the 2019 release towards the first update rollup for 2019. And in addition to functional issues, it will also have new features and new value. And we hope to get it in your hands in the first quarter. And we've been listening to all the feedback that you have shared over user voice and other forums. And some of that made it to the 2019 release. Some of that we are addressing in the update rollups. And we'll continue that cadence, starting with the first update rollup. We'll get into a 6-monthly release cadence for update rollups for the 2019 product as well. Now, while we continue to enhance System Center through 2019 and the update rollup releases, on the Azure side of the house, we have also released a set of management services, which are SaaS services. So there's obviously a question that we get often. Do we now move from System Center to this Azure management services? And our positioning on this is fairly clear. You can continue to depend on System Center to run your on-premises environments. And the central IT can retain the ultimate control. While you can adopt some of the latest and the greatest Azure management services and enable your application teams to take control of their applications. To give you a couple of examples, for example, you can use DPM, Data Protection Manager, for doing short-term retention of your workloads running on-premise and use Azure Backup, DPM connected to Azure Backup for your long-term retention instead of using tape. As well as you can use Azure Backup for backing up your workloads that you're running in Azure as well. Likewise, you can use COM for monitoring your Windows Server environments and your Linux environments. And you can use Azure Monitor in conjunction with COM for capabilities like application insights, where you get deeper application performance monitoring that your application teams need. Now, another one, right, is with respect to System Center and Windows Admin Center. Now, Windows Admin Center is a fantastic offering that we have. It's a reimagination of the inbox server management experiences. It's web-based, it's fluid, but it's geared towards providing management experiences for either single server or a single cluster for a smaller environment. System Center has always been targeted at data center scale. And we'll continue to position System Center as the product for data center scale, while you can, for drill down experiences to when you're managing a specific Windows server, you can navigate to Windows Admin Center. Now with that, let's move on to the first product that we want to go over today, which is Virtual Machine Manager. We have invested in Virtual Machine Manager in 2019 to support the platform technologies which get lighted up in Windows Server. So when it comes to the new S2D capabilities, SDN, clustering, as well as Host Guardian service, support for that is what we have enabled, and management of those technologies at scale is what we have enabled in VMM 2019, and we would continue to look to do that through the update rollups for the 2019 product. Now we understand you have a hard job. So the other area of investment has been how much can we automate? How much can we simplify administration for you? That's the other area of investment. And then on to Azure integration. As I said in the previous slide, the innovations which are happening in Azure management services, we want to make those available to on-premise environments as well. And towards that, we're looking to build integrations between the System Center products, including VMM and DPM, to the Azure management services. And we'll see examples of that as we go along. OK. Let's talk about security. Now, security is top of mind for all of you. With the increased threat perception in the environment, it's important that we continue to invest in security. In Virtual Machine Manager, as well as in the rest of the System Center suite, we have invested in security significantly. Two key ones to call out here. We introduced a new role in Virtual Machine Manager called VM Administrator role. Now, this role is targeted towards the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 support that you have in your organization. Now, this persona that you have, and we have learned this through conversations with a lot of you, this persona that you have back in your organization not only needs access to the virtual machines, but he or she also needs visibility into the fabric. So when a virtual machine stops functioning, that person should be able to look at which host is that virtual machine running on. Is that host running hot? Are you running out of storage of which this virtual machine is running? So that he can take remedial steps like moving that virtual machine to another host. So that's a new VM administrator role that we have introduced in VMM 2019. The other one is support for group managed service accounts. And we have done this across the System Center suite. In VMM also, we have service accounts and runners accounts, which are used by the VMM server to talk to the Hyper-V host. Now you can use group managed service account, which means the overhead of managing passwords, which was required. You had to, whenever the password expired for these accounts, you had to reset that password. that overhead that you had as an administrator is taken away from you. With group managed service account, Active Directory manages the passwords. You don't have to set passwords for those accounts. When the password expires, they are automatically recycled by Active Directory. It doesn't require any admin intervention. So those are the key ones there. Let's talk about hyper-converged infrastructure. Now, HCI has seen significant investments by the Windows Server team. And in this, we have seen significant deployment of HCI. In fact, the growth that we have seen in HCI is 200% year on year. From VMM side, we have invested in simplifying deployment and management of storage spaces direct. Let's take a look at some of these. So I'll talk about 4 of them, as you can see from the 4 quadrants here. The first one is, when you deploy a S2D cluster, you need the storage traffic to be lossless for the S2D cluster to really work well. Now, that is enabled through what is called as data center bridging, a networking technology. Up until now, that is up until VMM 2019 UR1, you had to do data center bridging configuration outside of VMM. So you had to call Windows Server platform commandlets to do that. VMM wasn't helping you do that setup. With VMM 2019 UR1, you will see that when you set up a S2D cluster, you can also configure data center bridging for those Hyper-V hosts, and we'll see a demo in just a minute. Now, S2D runs on commodity storage, which means it's important to get a perspective, get a visibility into health and operational status of S2D and the different storage tiers which are there in S2D. Now, in VMM console, you get that visibility. You can look at the health and operational status of all the S2D tiers in the VMM console. Next one up there is cluster patching. Now, VMM orchestrates the cluster patching and upgrade process. It moves, when a node is to be patched or when a cluster is to be patched, it will do this node by node. It will move the VMs from one node to the other node, evict that node from the cluster, patch it, and put it back into the cluster and rinse and repeat. Which means all this orchestration is done by VMM, and it's just a single-click experience for you. Storage optimization. Now, this is a key problem that a lot of you talk to us about. When a CSV runs full, and there's no space for the VHD to expand any further, the VM stops, and that causes outage. Nobody likes an outage. With VMM 2019, we have introduced the ability to set storage threshold on a CSV. So when a storage threshold is breached because the VHDs are expanding, VMM will automatically perform what we call as storage migration. It will move a VHD from a CSV which is running hot, is running out of space, to a CSV which has sufficient space, right? And it will do this without the need for an administrator intervention. So no more beeps, pager beeps at the middle of the night because some CSV ran full and you had an outage. Now with that, let me jump on to the first demo. You guys ready for this? And this is data center bridging for S2D cluster. OK, I love to do live demos, but there are 2 reasons why I'm doing recorded demos this time. One thing is from the perspective of visibility, it was very hard to see at the back last time we did this live, and also from just trying to be within time, as we have like 4 demos to go through. OK, so you have the VMM console here. Okay, and you start creating a Hyper-V cluster. That's the wizard for you. Hopefully, that's visible at the back of the room as well. Now, when you enable storage spaces direct at the bottom of that screen, it will add a pane for data center bridging configuration. The rest of the wizard remains same. You configure a runs account. You select the host which will be part of this S2D cluster. And then you come to this data center bridging configuration screen. Let me pause here. So you configure the data center bridging, and that will enable you to set up priority and bandwidth for the storage traffic as well as for the cluster heartbeat, which is required between the S2D clusters. It will also enable you also need to enable RDMA on the network interface card of the Hyper-V host that is going to carry the storage traffic. So you can enable this screen. VMM will also enable you to enable RDMA for the storage NICs. And that's it. So with this, now you can, with this wizard-based experience, now you can set up data center bridging, which is required for S2D cluster to perform really well. As you can see, one of the things that to note here is the physical network also needs to be configured for data center bridging. So that's a step that you would need to do. You'll need to configure that on the networking switches. OK, let's move on to another key enhancements that we have done. Now, when you have an organization which, and all of you are part of such organizations where you have data centers across the globe, you would typically have a library server which is in physical proximity of that data center. When you want to deploy a VM, you don't want that VHD to be fetched across a WAN link. So you will normally set up a library server in physical proximity of the Hyper-V host where you're doing the deployment. Now, all these library servers host the VHDs and templates which are required for your deployment. So it's important for the content on the library server to be replicated. And you typically do that using technologies like DFSR or other replication technologies. Now, VMM did not really play well with this, right? VMM did not really support that environment. So it was not possible to have VMM and a replicated technology, a replication of the library server content. With VMM 2019 UR1, VMM will now support replicated library shares. Right? So all these VHDs now can be uniform across the entire fabric that VMM is managing. Just a quick example here. So if you have, let's say there are 2 locations, and you have library servers in both those locations, Redmond and New York in this case, and you have VHDs, and let's say you patch those VHDs. With the replication, those VHDs will be replicated to the branch office location as well. And VMM will recognize that these are the same VHDs that it was dealing with earlier. So you can be consistent with your deployment. OK, how many of you in the room here today think that networking in VMM is complex? OK, cool. So our advice to many of you has been quite clear. Whenever you sit down to configure networking in VMM, the first thing you should do, and we have this in the documentation, the first thing you should do is get the strongest cup of coffee that you can get your hands on. Once you have that shot of caffeine inside you, everything is crystal clear. Now we gave this guidance to a lot of customers, and yeah, some of you tried that out with limited success. Well, the rest of you rolled your eyes. So we had to actually go back and do some work. So in the next couple of minutes, I'll talk about the networking improvements and networking simplification. Now, physical networking is one area that we have simplified. Earlier, for SDN deployment, you required 3 different networks. One was management network, provider network, and transit network. With VMM 2019 UR1, you will just need 2 networks, management network and provider network. Now, this work has been done by the Windows Server networking team, the SDN team. I'm sure Greg Kusanza talked about it in his session on networking. And VMM has enabled that experience when you set up networking using VMM. So this simplifies the amount of physical networking that you have to do and the troubleshooting that would be needed at the physical networking layer. So how's that for simplifying administration? Okay. Now another one, and this is the key enhancements that we are doing, and we're taking the first step with, on that with VMM 2019 UR1. We have a new user experience for VMM logical network. Now the feedback that we heard is there are a lot of logical constructs in VMM networking which are difficult to understand, and when it's not very, the setup experience doesn't really help. So what we've introduced is in-product descriptions, and we'll see a demo of this. We have provided visual aids so that you can look at the topology. When you make choices on your networking deployment, you can look at the topology that is going to be set up of the logical networks and the virtual network. Also, integrated experience. It's important that there are several logical constructs in VMM. So when you set up logical network, you also need to configure a network site, an IP pool. So we are providing an integrated experience in the new wizard. Also, across all these logical constructs in VMM, be it logical network, VM network, uplink profile, it's not very clear how they lay out in terms of dependencies. How does one depend or affect each other? So we have introduced a dependency map in VMM. Okay, so let's look at the demo for setting up a logical network, and this will be available in VMM 2019 UR1. So let's create a logical network. This is the new wizard here. Give it a hit next. And now you get 3 choices, right? Between connected network, independent network, and virtual network. I won't go through each of these, but as you can see, when you make a choice on connected network, there are in-product descriptions which will help you guide. There are also visual or topographical representations of how it will be laid out. And that we have done across all these 3 choices: connected network, independent network, and virtualized network. So here we make a choice on connected network and choose for managing it by a network controller. And this is the integrated experience where you can also specify the network site as part of creating the logical network, and specify the IP pool as well. Okay, and that completes the creation of a logical network. Now let's look at the dependency map, how that looks for a logical network. So we introduced this new pane called dependencies, and you can see how the how the dependencies laid out between VM network, logical network, uplink port profile, and logical switches. So you get that visibility. Now you can highlight on any of those elements and see how they link up in terms of dependencies. Okay. So that's the network simplification we are doing. We have taken the first step with logical network, and we'll continue down that path with subsequent URs. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now those 2 areas were related to simplifying setting up networking in VMM. The next one is with respect to troubleshooting. We have added support for LLDP. Now using LLDP is link layer discovery protocol. Now using LLDP, we are providing physical network connectivity information for the Hyper-V host. As you can see on the screen here, you can, in VM console now, you can look at what are the VLAN IDs which are part of, to which the Hyper-V host is connected, as well as the switch information to which the Hyper-V host is connected. So this is towards helping troubleshooting. We heard this, again, these are all user voice feedbacks that we have heard from all of you, and we have addressed that in VMM 2019 UR1. All right, let's move to the next topic, and this is update management. Now, in VMM, we talked about clustering patching. Now, for patching of virtual machines, all of you have typically used SCCM, System Center Configuration Manager. Now we are providing a new capability where you can use Azure Update Management for patching your VMs. And let's get into a demo to quickly look at that. And this is an example of where we are bringing some of the Azure management services and linking that up with your on-premise tools. Okay. So you create what is called a Azure profile in VMM. And when you create that, you provide the Azure subscription information. So I have, there's already a profile here called Azure Update Management 1. And you choose that profile for Azure, for the kind of profile usage, which is Azure Update Management, and provide the subscription ID, provide the Azure automation account as well as the workspace ID. That's already done in this case. Now, when you create a VM template, let me pause it here just for a minute. When you create a VM template, you can associate it with the Azure profile that you had, which means subsequent VM deployments where you're using this VM template, it will be linked to the Azure Update Management, and then you can set up policies in Azure in the Azure portal for patching those virtual machines. Okay. So this is an example of that. I had to restart that video. Quickly create the Azure profile here. Yeah, that's a subscription ID, as you can see. Now you create a VM template. Now, in the VM template experience, there is a field called extensions, where you can specify, you can enable Azure Update Manager and specify the Azure profile that you created initially in VMM. Once you do that, and once you have set up VMs, created VMs using, deployed VMs using this VM template, you can now use Azure Update Management for configuring policies. So in VMM console, you will have a link to the what is called Azure Update Management status that directs you to the Azure portal. And in that, you can configure the policy for patching those VMs which are running on your on-premise VMM fabric. Okay. So as you see, that's just I just went through a couple of features, key features that we have done in VMM 2019 and we are doing in 2019 UR1. There's several others that we have invested in the VMM 2019. That's the whole long list of features across the three pillars or three themes of investment that we have. Now, let me bring up our first customer speaker, Christoph from BWin, who will talk about his VMM deployment.
Can you hear me? Yep, okay, that works. Hi everyone, I'm Christoph, and I'm an infrastructure engineer in the Windows Core Services team at BWin. And in my role, I'm service owner for Hyper-V and SCVMM. So BWin is an international online sports betting company, and it is mainly based in Vienna, Austria. As a part of the GVC Holdings, which is one of the world's largest gaming groups, we have more than 28,000 employees, 20 offices, and 3,500 retail shops across the world. And as like every company which makes money with online services, we have very simple business requirements to follow when it comes to our IT infrastructure. We have to ensure that our services are online 24/7. Okay, so we started to migrate over certain workloads from VMware to SCVMM in a large scale around 3 years ago. And we now have two SCVMM environments running, 2016 and 2019. To ensure high availability, both are clustered and spanned across our two main data centers. We do have more than 6,000 virtual machines running on Hyper-V and managed by VMM. And as you can see on the slides, our estimated growth until the end of next year is plus 2,500 VMs. So we have a very rapidly growing environment here. Yeah, furthermore, we have 250 Hyper-V servers deployed across more than 12 countries. But the most important thing for us is the self-service. We have more than 70 self-service clouds with lots of templates for internal departments and customers. And it is very crucial for us that all our internal departments can fully manage the lifecycle of a VM on their own. Okay, yeah, so let's talk about the features we are most excited about in VMM 2019. So when you plan your Hyper-V environment and the sizing of your storage, you can decide if you want to create a thick provisioned VM or thin provisioned VM. And because of our rapidly growing environment, we decided to go the thin provisioned way. And of course, this brings a lot of risks, and you have to have a good monitoring in place that you do not run out of storage. So I'm very happy that VMM now supports storage optimization. So we need just to take care that there's enough storage attached to our Hyper-V servers and let VMM do the magic. Another important thing, the virtual machine administrator role. We have a 24/7 on-call rota. And sometimes I receive calls during the night at 3 a.m. like, Christoph, we're having issues with our Hyper-V servers. We're having issues with our applications. Please check Hyper-V. And we have a very good monitoring in place. And normally I know about any issues on Hyper-V. And most of the times my answer is, well, Hyper-V is fine. And what I wanted to say here is the more we can extend the self-service capabilities from the VM cloud down to even the Fabric resources, so that our internal customers and departments are able to check the health state of the Hyper-V hosts, the more sleep I get during the night. So it's a very good deal. Another great improvement, another great features here, the advanced HCI management capabilities like batching of S2D clusters and especially the storage shelf. So if you're a Hyper-V admin dealing with storage space direct on a daily basis, it should be no rocket science for you to check the health state of your Hyper-V and S2D cluster. But for coworkers not that familiar with Hyper-V and S2D, it might be a little challenge for them to quickly check what's going on when someone is calling, like, do we have any issues on Hyper-V? So really great to see all the improvements here. And yeah, with this, thanks a lot for your attention, and back to Prasad.
Thanks, Christoph. Thank you. We have been working with Christoph and the rest of the BVIN team for quite some time, and we're happy to work. Thanks for all the feedback that you've shared for all these years. Let's move on to Data Production Manager, another workhorse in the System Center stable. In the case of Data Production Manager, there are again 4 areas of investment that we are focused on. One key one that I would like to emphasize is performance. We have heard feedback related to backup performance, and we have made significant investments, and I'll talk about that in detail in just a minute. With DPM 2019, we are supporting the latest workloads from Microsoft, the latest versions of those workloads. We supported VMware for backup for the first time in DPM 2016, and we continue to enhance that scenario. Now, DPM has integration with Azure Backup, right? And again, this integration has been there for quite some time, where you can configure Azure Backup for long-term retention. And we continue to enhance that scenario, and we'll see details of that. Now, performance improvements. With DPM 2016, we went down a re-architecture of DPM, where we used REFS instead of NTFS as the storage for DPM. The promise of REFS was a lot of reliability and scalability. And for the DPM customers, our promise was better performance and lesser storage, and so lesser cost of ownership, right? Now, we have heard feedback from customers that after you have run with this new DPM running off of REFS for a while, and this is after several months, the storage gets fragmented, and that elongates the time it takes to backup. Now, that has been a key area of investment for us, and we have been working very closely with the Windows Server REFS team, both the DPM team and the Windows Server REFS team. So now our guidance is to use tiered storage, which gives the best performance with DPM with modern backup storage. And you need to put a small SSD storage in front of your traditional storage. We're talking about 4% of the overall storage that DPM will use. You need to have a storage tier with 4% of SSD. And that will significantly improve backup. And how? Let's see. So we did test, and these are test results that we have done in our environment. With DPM 2019 with tiered storage, and this also includes performance improvements done in DPM as well as in the Windows Server REFS team, we have seen 70% improvement in terms of backup time. Now, there are further enhancements that we have planned with DPM 2019 UR1, as well as the Windows Server REFS team is releasing a set of performance changes to REFS. And with that, the new result, a new performance improvement that we have is up to 90%. So time it takes to back up, and this is, we tested this with a few tiers, a few terabytes of storage, and we've seen 90% improvement. Now, another area of improvement with respect to performance is when you move your storage, when you move your backups from one storage to another storage. That used to take significant time. So we have improved that scenario as well, where it now would take much lesser time, and you would be able to migrate across your storage faster. Production of new workloads. So with the 2019 release, as you can see on the slide here, we support all the new Microsoft workloads. The latest versions will look to support SQL 2019 as well. And these are the new enhancements which are coming in 2019 UR1. The SQL Server running on CSV. That's a key scenario that where a lot of customers, a lot of you have given that feedback on user voice. We're adding support for that. Now, all the workloads that you see on the left of the screen, those can run on REFS. A lot of you are looking to run those on REFS, and DPM will support those environments as well with 2019. And with UR1, you can now also run DPM server on server core. VMware enhancements. We are supporting the latest version of the VMware environment, 6.7. VMware to tape was a scenario which wasn't supported in the past, where you want to use tape for long-term retention of VMware backups, so that's supported. And we are also supporting parallel VM backups so that the overall time it takes to back up your VMware environment is lesser. Now, DPM and Azure backup. You can connect your DPM instance to Azure backup. Now, in addition to using the Azure backup for long-term retention, there are other benefits which can accrue if you connect your DPM instance to Azure backup. So we send all the logs from your on-premise DPM instance to the recovery services vault, and that data gets sent to log analytics. Now, you can then use these logs for anomaly detection, for reporting, and you can do Power BI reports. There is a Power BI reporting template that the Azure backup team has released, which you can use if you, for your DPM environment as well, which will give visibility into your on-prem DPM environment. The last one there is new, which is Azure Data Box integration for offline seeding. When you first configure Azure backup for long-term retention, it can be terabytes of storage, and it may not be feasible to do that over a network. It can take too long a time. So we support what is called offline seeding, where you can order a data box from Microsoft, do your initial replication to this Azure data box, send that data box to Microsoft, and that will be hooked up to Azure backup. So just a quick illustration here. So you order a data box, you do your initial backup on that, ship it back to Microsoft. That gets connected to your storage account once it's shipped back to Microsoft. DPM will then detect it, and it will copy that initial replica to the recovery services vault and start doing the delta replication that needs to happen on a periodic basis. And we support all the data box family of products. Okay. In the interest of time, I'm going to skip this demo, which was basically shows the wizard-based experience in that we are looking to provide in DPM for the data box for using data box for initial replication. Okay, how many of you are aware of Microsoft Azure Backup Server? Okay, few of us. So MAPS is essentially provides similar capabilities as DPM, but doesn't require a system center license. It's completely pay-per-use. The MAPS is always connected to an Azure subscription. We have released MAPS, Azure Backup Server version 3 in November last year. We're looking to update that. And all the enhancements that are listed for DPM would be available to MAPS in the first quarter of next calendar year with the update that will roll out. Right. That let me bring up on stage Brian from Nestle, who will talk about his DPM and VMM deployment.
So thanks, Prasad. So my name is Brian Garbus. I'm a senior solution architect at Nestle. And two of the products that I oversee are DPM and VMM. Nestle is a rather large organization, obviously. It's made up of 323,000 employees. We operate in 189 countries. And we have 413 factories spread out across the globe. 2018, we had over 91 billion in sales, and one of the interesting facts is that we sell 1 billion products daily, every day. So here's a little bit about what our landscape looks like. Globally, we have 24,000 Windows servers deployed. We're protecting some of those with 210 DPM 18.x, the version of DPM 1807. And we're basically protecting around 3,752 workloads. And those workloads are spread across Hyper-V and VMware. In regards to VMM, we've got 4 2019 clusters. And currently, we're managing 350 clusters and 1,100 nodes. And those nodes are all connected to either standalone, S2D storage, or SAN storage. And so an interesting thing to note about Nestle's DPM and VMM deployments, they're both basically new software that we've started using within the last 2 years. And we're using them to replace competitor products in the market. So here's a few of the reasons why we chose VMM and DPM. On the DPM side, we were looking to basically replace an end-of-life backup and recovery solution. And on the VMM side, we needed a way to centrally manage Hyper-V. We like the idea that both products complement the Microsoft ecosystem because we're basically a Microsoft shop. We wanted to implement new technologies such as cloud and virtualization host backups. And we were really excited about the ease of use because of the ways we could use commandlets and PowerShell, and also Azure runbooks for automation. And one of the other things we were really excited about was the integration with Azure for the recovery vaults because of the operational costs that we were able to save. So just in summary, the most cool feature that we really found in DPM 2019 is the ability to write VMware backup to tape. We haven't been able to implement Azure backup or Azure site recovery backup in all of our locations, mostly due to some network constraints that we have. But we're excited about the Data Box feature that comes in the future release. And then some of the features that we really like in System Center Virtual Machine Manager is storage health monitoring. We foresee that helping us with some of our STD issues. And we're excited about the cluster-aware patching through WSUS, but we'd really like to see that come a step forward further and implement the ability to pull those updates from SCCM distribution points. So, thank you. I'll turn it back over to Prasad.
Thanks, Brian. Thank you. Just like BWin, we've been working with Brian's team through the VMM and DPM deployment. So my call to action is essentially upgrade to System Center 2019. We invested significantly in VMM and DPM. Earlier this week on Wednesday, we did a session on System Center Operations Manager covering what are the new enhancements that we're doing in System Center Operations Manager. So, and we look forward to hearing your feedback on our user voice forum, so keep that coming. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for your time. I'm happy to take questions.